Well, guys, welcome back to the layout. I will say this is coming up to like the end of November, so this is like 21st of November. I'm filming this on the new phone, so new camera quality and all that nonsense, but it probably hasn't changed much, and all these different perspectives and all this other stuff. I mean, this has got like 3 different lenses and cameras and stuffs on the back. It's an S10. La la la. No one really cares that much. Layout update. So as you might have seen it last time, it really hasn't changed much. I don't think I showed you this last time, but over here we got a Triumph, a little static plastic Triumph from a motor rail carrier. There was another one that was the same, but I put it in a metallic blue with bronze wheels, like kind of like a Mitsubishi livery. I don't know. There's more figures and people on this layout, like these two twins here. I imagine they're from like a duo saxophone jazz band in the town, maybe. I don't know. Just making up stuff on the spot. Of course, there's just more people walking about in the town. This guy here, all in black. It's not very good when I'm filming at like in the dark and I've only got like this puny little light in the shed and this camera doesn't like to focus. But there's this guy here all in black with a yellow overcoat, well, undercoat, I don't know, overalls. I moved the moped to the other side of the crossing because I thought I'd fill up this part of the crossing. So it looks like him and some old lady from another part of the town. That would, if this layout was bigger, it'd be extended over there. It's going to cross the rails and then go to the smaller section of town that's been cut off by the crossing. There's more people in the pub area, I think. Well, I don't know. I don't know why I put new people, but I have put new people, that's all I'll say. The bushes got ripped up because they just looked a bit like a mess. They looked too flat. And I was going to buy some hedgerow, but I thought I'd recycle bits I had around. So I had these Jarvis, I don't know, brick walls. These two are the only like red brick ones I had from the old layout. So I plopped them on here, put some shrubbery, and had the old circus wagon body top as a shed there with like all the greenery just overgrowing it. You may have noticed this fence here. I actually scratch built this. And honestly, it took forever to build. This, originally, the plan was when I cut this all out, the wiring, like the actual fencing bit, it was going to be one piece. And I could not get it to straight and flatten out. Because every time I tried to straighten out, it would always curve in like a piece of curly hair or something. So, somewhere around here, I had to cut it in half and then do the rest. Ah, there we go. Somewhere there, that's where the cut happened. And I had to, well, when I was gluing it down, just glue it all together. I am going to keep working on here because you can still see bits of brown baseboard underneath. And it doesn't really look that good. So I might just add some more greenery around there. Not much has changed. Oh, the horse is just lying against the baseboard wall. That's what I'll call it. I should do something about this rock face area here, because it's just got like a bunch of old them cheap bushes that don't really look like bushes but rather like seaweed. Of course, there's the van. I mean, it looks very unrealistic for just being a Beyond Meat van, just covered in like bushes like that. I'd imagine this is kind of a piece of old like airsoft shooting equipment they had, like, you know, the airsoft gun shooting places. Like that was a piece of like hiding target or something. I don't know, like where they'd hide behind there and go pew pew and stuff. They just dumped it there, so that's like an airsoft area maybe. I got to do something about this off-coloured shrubbery around here, but yeah, there's still bits of baseboard there that I need to paint over, or add the ice cream van over it. Maybe I could No, that's where I last had it. I don't know. I'll do something with that. Yeah, just more greenery has been taken up. More of the old bushes because it just looked a bit messy. I actually put some new ballast down near where the shed used to be, and now where the water tower sits. I imagine there would be no shed here because, like, if there was, I don't know why I'd have open, like, no doors on it at all. It just looks a bit like a shack, like not even a good shed, just like an old garden shed shack. The buffers, they got repainted with like, well, red blocks and all that, just so they look professional. Well, not professional, but just nicer rather than just plain black plastic. They've all been done in primer grey. I should really weather them because they look too bright. I mean, like, I sit here and I see this one particularly and it just stands out too much. I don't think you might have noticed, but the old controller's gone. Yeah. I ripped that up finally after like changing it out and then putting it back in with another identical one because the old one had like a dodgy switch and it just wouldn't go, and I got another one, plopped it down and all that sort. There's a bit of flux there, as you can see, that's just been plopped there when I was trying to, because originally I was having the wiring for that controller would come out here to the controller, but then it would also go all the way over there to where them points are. Over there you could see the red wiring for the main line and then to the yard for some reason, because for some reason when Daniel did this he wired up both tracks, so now I can't have 3 engines in the siding, otherwise they'd start pushing into the buffers or start running away and then smash into another engine outside on the main line. At some point I do need to replace this steel track, but it is working alright at the minute. I just went off track a minute there, but I got a new controller. This controller here, it's the same one I use at Train Club for my test layout, but it seems a little bit more dodgy than like the very beaten up one that we have at the club. Maybe it's just this one doesn't like this layout, but I've done exactly the same wiring stuff as how it was originally on that layout, and I've moved the wires over to, well, there's one wire here on this rail, and there's another one behind there that I've moved further back, just so it evens it out. So far it is working. I was actually worried I'd cut off the points and the whole like small yard here. But no, it's all working fine. The controller does act a bit rubbishy sometimes, because I originally bought this so I could run the somewhat older Triang Hornby doodah stuff. The only thing I've got that has their motors is, well, Budget Duck. Now let me get her out of the box. This was from about like a few years ago, but I got it from Rails of Sheffield. It was very interesting because, yeah, it's a normal Hornby, normal Hornby pannier. It's got a fat 8 on there. Yeah, this camera quality is not good, I know, but I filmed this at night and I have nothing to do right now because I've just finished all my work for college and stuff at the minute. So that sits there, and I actually bought a Hornby diesel from Rails of Sheffield recently. Well, with that face, for pretty cheap for what I see on eBay. I am not paying £100 for a Hornby diesel when it's funny because the box, the price tag says like 30 quid on there. It's just so stupid. But what else have I done other than ballasting? Because there's some more ballast along this area on the side of the line. I've put some more coal into these coal, I don't know what they're called, these coal bins, these coal heaps, I don't know, because the original stuff, it just looked a bit too low, and this was I can't remember what it was called now, but it's the type of like scenery stuff. It's something scenic. It comes in like a cardboard, it comes in a little plastic bag with like a cardboard thing, and with a bit of cardboard outer packaging. It was just going for like clearance at Model Junction. For like £1, so I thought that was a deal with a lot of coal in there. That was pretty decent, and it said it was like mine run coal, but it was fine enough for my standards to put into like my engine's bunkers and stuff. I'm not very technical and all this doodah. I still got to find some station railings. Well, not fencing even, because I don't like how bare this is. When you got some drunkard coming off of the market day train and he just plops onto the trolley down here. I'm planning to have like fencing go around here and then go around here, and there's like a gate only for like station master and guard and all that to come down here, go to the very crappy station master's office down here. But yeah, I think other than new people and all that other stuff, I think all good. All I really want to do is add some little more scenics, like little bins around the alleyway here and other spots. Maybe add some more greenery near the fences. I need to weather up the track a bit more because there's black splotchy spots, and I want like most of the rails to be, well, dirty, as like there's been oil and grime just dripping onto the rails and they've just gone black almost. As for new locos, I probably shown GWR 311 from the Bachmann Junior range, but I'm really happy, well, because you could see this Billy sitting there, but let me bring him back. The controller's working somehow really well with these Bachmann Junior locos, and they're built like rubbish. I've got Bachmann Junior number 2005. This loco I've wanted since for a decade or something. Ever since I was like probably like 9, 10. Well, along with 311. But I'm glad I've got them both because they both hold like childhood sentimental value to me. As a kid, my first main Thomas self-insert train sonar thingy was actually 205. So like just generally just 205. Maybe with some modifications like silver buffers, all that rubbishy Thomas fan stuff. They always do that, don't mean anything. But yeah, I'm so glad I have this loco. This is actually out of the cheapest of the Bachmann Junior models I've got. I got this guy for £20. No, under £20, I think. Billy, who was a replacement of the original Billy, I only got Billy again because, well, he was the easiest I found around at the time, and I hurried to get him. And because I destroyed the original like an idiot. And just because he was my first Bachmann Junior loco in general, I just needed to get him again. What was I? Oh yeah. 311 was about nearly £40, and the seller was such a bumhole. I don't think I ever told you the story, but seller never really listed any of the changed faults in the model. How it runs terribly backwards, sometimes smoked actually. The build was a bit rubbish, but again, I guess that's really just common for these models because they are just the Bachmann, Thomas, and Percy, but a bit more not Thomas and Percy, you know. Couplings were changed. Well, it had the original NEM on the front, but then like a different modified Hornby tension lock, because the chassis on it, it cannot take, well, specifically these ones, because where the hook hooks into the back, the chassis takes up most of the space, so it can't fit. So it was just a chopped up piece of Hornby wagon coupler, I think, where the hook was placed a bit more forward, or whatever. And there was added weights, and it just felt a bit. Well, it was obviously modified, but the person didn't even like add it in the listing. And I gave actually proper feedback about it. I'll probably throw a picture here of like the whole story, but it just shows how stupid eBay sellers are when people giving feedback. I swear the feedback system on eBay is broken. Like they don't understand they don't understand what feedback even means. Like clearly the feedback was properly list your descriptions. This dude's been on like eBay for longer than me, and I could do better listings than them. But it's just so silly that sellers are like, oh, it's not fair when they give him not a positive review. Ooh. You're a grown man. Grow up. It's not gonna hurt you. You're not gonna like evaporate as soon as fucking you get neutral feedback on eBay. But where was I? Yeah, I paid £40 for that, 25 for Billy, and just under 20 for 205. That I'm really happy about. Anyways, for the Locos, I actually changed all the couplings from NEMs to the big tension locks, so they go with all my stock. Honestly, out of all of them, 205 is my most decent runner. Billy sounds very grumbly and grindy on the track. It must be because like there's pitting in the wheels, from what I've seen. The wheels look very rough. And there's a little click, I think, sometimes when he goes about. You already know about 311. He just goes along just fine forward, but backwards is just like grinding gears. 205 is just the both of them, but with more smoothness. So forward is very decent, and backwards, yeah. This is actually the first proper train I've given 205. I'm gonna keep calling it wrong, but you know what I mean. There was a video I posted on Instagram where I actually ran this the day I picked it up from like the post office, where they just held it because they didn't get to deliver it properly, and I gave it a brake van special at last minute because everyone was hogging the layout pretty much. But yeah, let's give 2005 a proper run. Actually, one thing I should add to the video while I'm here. Both 311 and 2005, they always slip through my hands like sand when I try to buy them. Because, well, there's always bids, and everyone would always get bid on them, and at last minute I'd never win. Oh, just saw some wheel slip from 2005 there. But I'm glad at last I finally have them, without any pesky bidders taking them away from me. You could see how very rubbishy this controller can be sometimes, where it's just been very jumpy. So I'll leave you with some running shots at this very extended version of a layout update video.